Hello, respected viewers. I am standing to be Chancellor of Oxford University. I am not joking. I registered my candidacy about 10 days ago. It's very simple to do. Get on the website and do it. It's a very short form to fill out. I hate form filling, but even I was able to do it. And yes, it's free to register. So get out there and do it. Actually, don't, because I want to be the only candidate. Khan, the Prime Minister of Pakistan. But I think people of Pakistan, for example, were asked to choose between me and Imran Khan. The result will be pretty unanimous. Okay, at least I haven't filched any money from the Pakistani public. But I really am standing to be Chancellor. Remember, this is an office which is held for life. And though it's tenable for life, the current office holder, Lord Patton of Barnes, is tendering his resignation. He's reached 80 years of age. I'm not quite there. So he's a superannuated conservative politician and indeed the last governor of Hong Kong. He's stepping down. Now, if you elect me, graduates of Oxford University, I promise I will live exclusively in Oxford. That will be my only residence, and I can promise to spend at least 300 days a year in Oxford. Most chancellors don't even live in Oxford, only visit a few times, but I will be committed visiting every college, campaigning on various issues, particularly free speech, particularly anti-wokery, to keep the statue of Cecil Rhodes up. Rhodes must stand tall, despite his contentious legacy, despite some of the bad things he did and so forth. And no statues to be removed and nothing to be renamed. If you don't like it, don't attend Oxford University. That's it. If it's that offensive, get out. You don't have to be there. There are 139 other universities in the United Kingdom. It can't be that bad. And so that's where I would stand. Obviously, I'd campaign for more funding for the university from government, from other sources. Hello, Paramount. Well, thank you for good luck from Uzbekistan. Rahmet. Do I pronounce the name of your country correctly? Uzbekistan. What else? And undergraduates and postgraduates to come over all over the world. Also, something's got to be done on pay for academics. The pre-lectors, the junior research fellows, the senior readers, the dons in general, they are not adequately remunerated. In fact, is grossly inadequate. It has been for some time. It's failed to keep pace with inflation. It's hard to think that, 2 generations ago, it would have been on a par with, say, high street solicitors or general practitioners. And it's just abysmal now, especially considering Oxford is one of the most expensive cities to live in the United Kingdom. I mean, it's only just behind London because being 52 minutes by train from London, Paddington is effectively a extension of London. So I can see these academics demonstrating. And though I may disagree with most of them on many things, I realize that it's the salaries are not reflective of their qualifications. And I know people don't go into academe for filthy lucre, but nevertheless, their pages shouldn't be so appalling. So some world-class minds are being lost to Oxford. They're across the Atlantic generally, where pay packets are more remunerative. So that's got to be sorted out. One thing is the university could buy accommodation and rent it to them for a peppercorn rent, not so low that it's a taxable benefit, something like that, to make it viable for them to live there is really not good enough. I want to stop the overexpansion of Oxford University. I dearly love Oxford University. It's the happiest time of my life as an undergraduate. So I'll be devoted to seeing it flourish in every way. And people to be welcome there, but no snowflakes. Okay, you are going to encounter opinions that you find deeply distasteful, and you're going to have to grow up about it because that's the real world. You say what you believe, I will say what I believe, and you have to deal with it. And no, you're not going to throw the toys out of the pram, and like no safe spaces. So it should be an intellectually testing time. I remember that one of the dons saying that at my graduation ceremony. So it shouldn't be too easy. And obviously, if you can't stand the heat, well, you know the rest of the adage. So that's what I'll be campaigning for. I would also address the gross inequity that very few of the dons are right wingers. I can't think of one who's an outspoken right winger. There are plenty who are far left, fine, but there are people who are right wingers, right of centre, and who are very clear about that. They should be free to vocalize their views. Now, it may be that people of a right wing disposition are less attracted to academia for reasons of personality or because they care more about emolument. All right, that might be a factor. But methinks there's an airlessness to British academia. It's just simply stifling for right wingers and made to feel deeply unwelcome. Work at the University of Tashkent. Wow, I have your support. Well, thank you for that. Stone city as it is. But methinks that's because you can't raise your voice against Shavkat Mirziyoyev. That's his sort of wokery. anything that would cause disharmonious relations, be expressive of disrespect towards the president of the Bashkan, or whatever you want to call him. So that's why you should vote for me. Remember, it's online voting for the very first time. Previously, people had to cast their ballots in person. Now, Oxford is an international university, and to campaign against some of the government's immigration policies, and much so I think that immigration to the United Kingdom needs to be limited to a reasonable level. Postgraduate students in particular should be allowed to bring their spouses with them and their minor children for the duration of time, preventing them from doing so. And that was the policy of the outgoing Conservative government, will make it less likely that some postgraduates who come to Oxford University, they will go elsewhere. Um, so trying to raise funds all around the world to fund Don's salaries, more research, better accommodation, so forth, but not expansion. 26,000 is too big already. When I have £1 billion, what I'll do is I'll knock down some 1960s monstrosities that were built over gardens and have more green space, buy more of the city centre. And I don't want colleges with like 1,000 undergraduates. There's too many. Make it smaller, make it more intimate, keep classics going, and realize that we can't do everything. Now I realize that the chancellor is largely a figurehead. He or she just personifies the university as the face of the university internationally and speaks out like that. So I would be forthright. I would be outspoken on liberty and human rights, and that's not just meaning leftist propaganda. That's that utterance, that term is often misappropriated by the extreme left. Yeah, so really fundraising would be central to my goal, but being approachable there at all times, and uh, standing up for civil liberty for people to interact with each other as they want. Really return it to the good old days of the 90s. That's what I want to see. Ethnic Kyrgyz going to Uzbekistan and not assimilating into our society. I see. But you want them to come so long as they assimilate to you. You see, one of the things is I'm actually a multiculturalist. As a sentimental imperialist, I welcome Commonwealth immigration, so long as the numbers are not excessive. And people live in whatever culture they want. Being bicultural, I wouldn't object to a woman wearing a sari, a man wearing whatever, a a shalwar kameez, a woman wearing one, or eating whatever food, or speaking whatever language. Oxford has always been a cosmopolitan university. Vive la différence. I mean, regard to genders as well. So yeah, and I would stop people being penalized or sent down for voicing their opinions, for telling the plain truth, which sadly has happened. It's been a very lugubrious degeneration of people's rights at Oxford University over the last 25 odd years. So go back to the good old days of the 90s, of people being able to have several babies in the bar, be a little bit boisterous, let their hair down, and that's what youth is about. And I would give people a reason to sing Gaudiamus Igitur. If I were there, I would try to meet the undergraduates and postgraduates in their college bars. Not that I drink very much. Obviously, I'd always be supporting the university, the varsity match, the university boat race, and so on. So I would do this as a full-time job. I would take the salary. I wouldn't take any other salary. I'll be committed to this, unlike everybody else who sees it as a sideline and who's trying to line their pockets with other lucrative things, who are very avaricious and give the absolute minimum to Oxford University. I would give it the max and totally commit. Right. Thank you so much for watching my channel. I have an awful feeling the Dons are going to scrap me as a candidate precisely because I'm offering an alternative. I'm not just going to be more of the same. I'm not just going to be an establishment cardboard cutout who mouths the same leftist platitudes. Well, such is life. Right. Thank you for watching my channel. Goodbye. Please subscribe on Patreon, donate to PayPal, georgecallahan79@gmail.com. Toodaloo.